Hi everyone, it's me, Avery. So today I thought that I would do a little video about your hypothyroid problem, if you have it. You know how they have those books that's like dating for dummies or acting for dummies or computers for dummies, whatever it is. I thought I would do hypothyroid for dummies. Like, I wish I had this information when I first got diagnosed 6 years ago, because it was just the biggest roller coaster of my life. So I'm just gonna relay everything that I know and everything that you should do. I mean, it's if you want to feel better, you can take this information and use it. This is my experience with hypothyroidism. People lose weight, and I don't know much about what people feel, obviously, and go through, but I think it's kind of the same situation. It's just you lose weight, but you still feel tired and depressed and all that stuff. I'm not going to go into full detail about that. But Hashimoto's, I can also make a video on that if you guys want, the autoimmune, because that's another separate thing. First order of business, symptoms. If you are feeling tired, if you're feeling lethargic, if you're feeling depressed, if you feel like you want to cry for no reason, if you're gaining weight and you just feel bad, I say go straight to the doctor, endocrinologist, a thyroid specialist, because I wish that I knew that information, because I spent so much money at a holistic doctor on cleanses and just cleanse after cleanse after cleanse, and nothing worked, and I still felt depressed, and I still felt sad, and I still felt chubby. And then they decided to check my blood, and they were like, oh my gosh, after 3 months of these stupid cleanses, they were like, you have hypothyroidism. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? The holistic doctor that I saw here in LA put me on Synthroid, which was for my thyroid, and put me on Cytomel, which was for my Hashimoto's, because I was diagnosed with both at the same time. And then I was also on birth control at the time, but that was just to regulate my cycle, for all of you out there that want to know. Those three medications together are apparently toxic for your body. When I went to an endocrinologist finally, they were like, why are you on all of this medication? And I was like, oh, I don't know, this doctor in LA like put me on it. And they were like, this is awful for you. And I was like, oh, no wonder I feel like I'm dying. So he took me off all of that, and he put me on just one medication, tyrosine, and it's this little like clear jelly ball, and it gets into your system within like 30 minutes. I switch off medications every day just so my hormones are level, balanced. Once I got on the right medication and I wasn't on like 17 different things, I lost 15 pounds in the first month without even trying. Just from being on the right medication, just because like my metabolism was working normally, kind of normal. So that's the first thing. Get your blood checked, go to an endocrinologist, and then get on a good medication. Don't be on too many things, because your body can't handle it. But then after that, I changed my diet a lot. I cut out dairy, I cut out gluten. And then as time progressed, I cut out grains, I cut out sugar. I lowered my carb intake a lot. I don't eat fruit. And everyone's like, oh, the good fiber and the good carbs, and those are good sugars. It's like, when you have a thyroid problem, you have to kind of just make a mental shift that you can't live your life like that anymore. Like you just have to come to terms with it. Your metabolism doesn't work like it used to anymore. So just get over it, cut your calories in half, cut out gluten, cut out dairy, and you're gonna feel so much better, and you're gonna start losing weight. People ask me all the time, they're like, oh my gosh, you don't look like you have hypothyroidism, and you don't look like you have Hashimoto's. Like, I work my tail off to look like this, and that might be like kind of narcissistic, but I don't want to look how I did when I first got diagnosed. I was like so puffy, and I was so miserable, and like my face was puffy. My whole body, I looked like a waterbed. Like I was just puffy. And I hated looking like that. I never wanted to take pictures anymore. I made those changes because I wanted to look and feel my best. So if you do get diagnosed, cut out gluten, cut out dairy, and cut your calories basically in half. You gotta portion control. You have to really watch what you eat because your metabolism doesn't work the same. Also, get your blood checked all the time. Like when you first get diagnosed, get it checked every 3 months because your hormones could be just up and down, and your like TSH and your T4, T3, whatever. Your TSH could be, which is another like thyroid number. You get it if you have a thyroid problem. You should get your blood checked like every 3 months when you first get diagnosed because your hormones and your numbers could be up and down, up and down, up and down. And you want to make sure that you're pretty even keel. And then I think that once you have it for a certain amount of time, you can do it like every 6 months. Like I go every 6 months now, and I've had it for 6 years, so I'm still, going all the time. Workouts. My workouts have gotten 100% so much harder than they used to be because of my thyroid problem, and the only way that I stay remotely thin is because I've like really upped my workouts, and my diet, but because I've made my workouts so much more intense. That's another thing. And I know that you feel tired, and I know that you feel sad, and I know that you feel lethargic and all those things, but like once the medication starts working, you will get more motivation, and you'll be able to get yourself to the gym and just even like 30 minutes a day, but make it intense. Like you gotta use weights, and you gotta do like jump squats and burpees and like sprints, and just you gotta keep it intense. And I know it's hard, and I know it sucks, but to feel your best and look your best, these are like steps that I've had to take to feel the way that I want to feel with this disease. So, in conclusion, don't mess with a holistic doctor right off the bat, and I'm all for whatever you believe in, but just go to an endocrinologist, get your blood checked. It's gonna help you in the long run. You have to be able to make the mental shift. You gotta cut your calories in half. You gotta make the change. If you want to see a change, you have to make the change, and it's quite the journey. But I have so many amazing different like food products and stuff without grain, without gluten, without dairy that are so good. And also your palate will change over time. Like when I feed my family like grain-free, gluten-free, dairy-free stuff, they're like, oh my gosh, what is this you're feeding us? And I think it's amazing. Your palate will change over time, don't you worry. It's not the end of the world. It gets better because you start figuring out stuff over time. If anyone out there needs help or needs advice or whatever, message me on Instagram, comment here, and I will comment back as soon as I can because I want to help because I know how tough it is and how much it sucks. So I hope this helps, and that's it. Thyroid problem for dummies. Hypothyroid for dummies. And then I was also on birth control at the time, but that was just to regulate my cycle for all of you out there that want to know. I'm a woman and I can say that. Hypothyroid for dummies. Hypothyroidism for dummies.